So we're going to finish the last part of functions. We're going to go to graph. So this top graph is going to be relations, and I'm going to draw several graphs on one Cartesian plane so that you can see maybe some options that might exist for these are only relations. One that you might see is something that looks like this. You might see something that looks like this. You might see something that looks like this. And you could even see something that looks like this. All of these are going to be fails of this vertical line test. So what that means is I'm going to take the edge of my paper. It's a straight line. I'm going to hold it vertically, and I'm going to run it over this backwards C looking thing. And as you can see, as I hold this vertically, I am touching 2 points on this line at a time. Right there and right there. So because of that right there, this is a fail. So let's go over to this 0 or the O. As I take my vertical edge, the edge of my paper, and hold it vertically, and I start to go over the graph, see right there and there, I'm touching more than 1 point at a time on this graph. This is a fail, relation only. This means the domain is actually repeating, and X has more than one output. Same thing here with the triangle. As I take my edge of my paper and holding it vertically, it's touching multiple points at the same time in the same vertical plane right there. So that's a fail. Then we've got this guy. This one's frequently missed. This is an undefined slope line. It's touching the whole entire line, my vertical edge. So this is a big fat fail. Undefined slope is big fat fail. Now the equation for that would say X equals, for this one, it's a number 1. It's intersecting the y-axis at 1. So this is X is always 1. And if it's always 1, or whatever number, then it's a repeating domain and it's a relation. The domain repeats, it's a relation. So then let's get to the possibilities of what a function could be. A function will pass the vertical line test, meaning it's only touching 1 point on that graph at a time, vertically. So possibility would be undefined slope is a relation, 0 slope is a function. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y equals 5. No matter what X is changing, the Y is 5. That's what this graph looks like. And as I take my vertical line test, the edge of my paper, and run it over that graph, the only time my vertical line here of my paper touches this green is just one time, 1 point at a time. It's not anywhere else. It's just right here. Okay, so what if I had a positive line? That's a positive slope line. So what if I take my vertical edge once. It's not touching it anywhere else. Up and down. So this is a pass. It's a function. What if I had a super steep negative line? I went from here to there. Super steep negative line. Holding my paper edge vertically. I'm going to slide it over this red line. It's touching it here, nowhere else. Okay? So even though it's super steep, it still passes. That's still a function. Okay? Touching one point on the graph at a time. When you hold your edge vertically, it's a pass. Then there are some options that are not lines, nonlinear functions. So one that's fairly popular would be this one right here. It's a y equals x squared. Makes a U shape called a parabola. And as I take my vertical edge, this is my vertical line test. Is it a pass or a fail? Just touch on one point on this line at a time. Look at that orange line. That's a pass. Okay? What if I had y cubed? That would be a disco move looking thing. Looks like that. This would be y equals x cubed. So taking my vertical line, it's not touching this yellow line anywhere else up and down. That's also a pass, so that's a function. I could also have some squigglies. So squigglies, waves. Be careful as you draw those. Passing over the pink line. It's touching one point. It's only touching one point at a time. Okay? So that's still a pass, it's still a function. Now if I turn that squiggly sideways, and I pass my vertical line over this, uh-oh, it's touching right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. That's a fail. It's a relation only. This one, turn this direction, that's a pass. So down to the words. You're going to use the vertical line test. You're going to use a pencil or a ruler or the edge of your paper, something that's straight, and you're going to hold it vertically, up and down. Pass the vertical line over the graph or the points. Sometimes you'll just have points and no line connecting those points. And if you have a vertical line and it's only touching one point at a time, then it is a function. The domain is different. It is a function. So we're going to go back to the cover page. We're going to summarize this with 6 words. All of this information in this foldable about functions in 6 words. Domain is different. It is a function. If the domain repeats. It is a relation. That's all we have for today. Thanks for listening.